Hello, Collective, to a timeless reading of yours. Bear in mind that we discuss whatever wants to come up, and whatever brought you here, there may be something here for you. Bear in mind that this is a general collective storytelling time. While we get ready for the reading, bear in mind a few other details: that I am Master 7th, aka 7th, that reads these energies for you, should you want to know who she is, what she's all about, and what I have to offer. There's a link in the description box below. There are other various links in the description box to help you navigate this channel and gain access to my sister channel. Both channels have timeless content for your viewing pleasures. Remember to take pieces of the narrative that belong to you and leave the rest behind, for this is not a one-to-one reading. There's a deep yearning to express all facets of sadness and finding a comfortable webbing in order to do just that. And the difficult notion for this energy of resonancy here, this viewpoint, their biggest struggle is to have this relationship with them for themselves. Like, come on, I don't need to. I don't wanna. So the goal is for the energy that I'm picking up to learn what this desire is for themselves, which is a knowing that they can produce energy and receive, which means look upon thyself for this wholesomeness. Find the completion within yourself. Let go of everything to yourself, to the reflection of who or what you are. Let him or her be the one that you tell thy story to. Alright, let's get into your reading, shall we? Or the reading. Apparently it's personal. Four of Wands, we're really trying to get into the mental space of what it is that means to be you. We're not trying to invade your space. We're getting an aerial viewpoint of your space and seeing whether or not it has a flow to itself that is not chaotic to the rest of the space that it's connected to. You are a webbing amongst other seas of infinite webbing, and it's important that you gain some sort of hint in your opening messages to be able to understand that there is something that keeps everything intact, and it doesn't need your permission for it to exist. It doesn't need your absolute finite understanding and knowledge for it to exist. It doesn't require your belief in order to continue existing. And that's the ultimate goal for anyone within this reading that applied themselves to this yearning of sadness and relief, to find it within themselves. The split ends. I'm hearing split ends. And seeing the roots of whom and what it is that you are is like there's split ends. Someone might also be struggling with like shin splints, feet issues, newfound feet issues, right? These are like new development issues. And you might think it's like aging and all that stuff. There's something more pressing to this acknowledgement of a feeling that makes you feel like, yeah, but it's just so odd. And that is not a coincidence. Someone should be a bit more humble when it comes to any form of ritualistic behavior around their children. I'm getting some sadness here because there is some malignant energy around that is jealous of your creation. And, you know, that's the stanky third eye look upon what it is that this person has created for themselves. So this could be neighborly, all right? This is definitely within the community. So whether it starts out you thinking that, you know, you belong within a community or you're someone who likes to advocate for community, it's within that type of webbing, that type of, yeah. I'm seeing someone making wedding plans, trying to find the venues and, you know, getting ready. Jesus, there's like so much like sadness. It's trying to maintain itself. Yet it also is just so much of a force field. It's going to come out regardless, you know. And some of y'all have been doing it for a while, that you're like taking in that deep breath, and with that conscious deep breath you feel the pressure pressing down your anxiety into the pits of your stomach, and you're like, all right, I don't have time for these emotions. I got shit to do. So it's a mixture of a lot of things. It could be a mixture of excitement. This could be anxiousness. This could be nervousness. This could be so many things. But what it definitely is a knowing of something and anticipating its arrival and being part of that. I'm hearing... Oh, yeah, excuse me. I'm hearing that it's been a long time coming for someone to reach this level of going home. You know, so however that may mean for you. There is a very, very, very uncomfortable, gassy feeling of like someone's dealing with this. You know, like the nervous tension turns into like crampiness and gassiness and bloating and like confused whether it's stomach ache but then not. And it's someone, it's not tied to someone, it's you processing someone. You not being really in fair alignment with that prominent energy. So it's asking you to pay a bit more attention because it's definitely it's very distracting. Obviously, it's uncomfortable. So in and of itself, there's a need to rebuild intelligence with something that is uncomfortable. Rebuilding intelligence with something that is uncomfortable. Interesting. Notes taking time. Excuse me. It's one of the, I don't know, reason number 101 as to why nobody wants to cry. You get the sniffles. Like, ugh. Gross. Just kidding. Just kidding. But, pardon me, I get rid of this. Hold on. 1 second. We're back. All right, now. Ether's really trying to press all the ways that she can press in making you aware that you are to experience these experiences in life and maintain groundedness through this crazy, chaotic times. The feeling of pressure, the feeling of excitement, the feeling of passion and desire. And really, it's almost like chaotic. But what maybe you don't see is that it's controlled chaos. You know, some of y'all who are like going into other compartments of thinking, of like who's governing the mental on a global scale. Yeah, it's all a narrative. An old narrative that has power due to the fact that it's been an ongoing narrative for a very long time. Yeah, individual non-communal soldiers are put into place to build more or less pillars of galactic Wi-Fi through humans. Galactic Wi-Fi. I like that. No taking time. Galactic Wi-Fi. Alright, what else did we get? We got Page of Wands with the Queen of Cups. I mean, no one really likes water and fire together. We think we do. Inside Out reminds us why we know we do. But it's a freaking mess, okay? It's a mess as much as it could be just a beautiful mess, right? A beautiful disaster. There is beauty in all types of forms. Excuse me. It's really it's a very difficult concept to look at the whole problem and then tell individuals, if you want to fix the whole problem, you have to fix the wholesomeness within yourself. I think that's a very difficult thing to admit, that you have to advocate in order for people to become aware that there is a within, and that within is responsible for what is out. And the fact that this ongoing cycle has been that you've been more or less induced by individuals who know this type of behavior about the evolution of life, the emotional progress and the emotional processing and evolution. They like the fact that it always has someone in line needing them. So if they can market off of that ritual, they'll start putting a price tag on it, and that's a guarantee that someone will always show up. So there is a very intellectual movement that allows someone to be very autonomous towards a behavior without really realizing that they are doing it automatically. And yeah, the list can go on as how problematic that can be. Alright, so I need a swig. Give me a swig. Taking yourself on like romantic personal dates would be a great idea. You know, if it's too costly for you to think of that adventure, take yourself outside for a nice little walk around the block or two. You know, create nicer moments for yourself in the bathroom. Like, have a more romantic relationship with yourself. To understand the very different degrees that you've also understand yourself the most before anyone can tell you about yourself. The only thing that anyone ever else will tell you about yourself are versions that of your energy that they are wise enough to pick up and translate and transcribe, and to you they sound foreign because you may not know these things about yourself just yet. And there are people who are just older that may just feel things, and why they see things, feel things, know things, they feel entitled to share things. And this is pretty much how the reflection of self and everybody else's selves reflect and communicate with one another, and how relationships either become or disintegrate. And yeah, there's a fickleness and a facade to some sort of connection. More so with a person that is like a relative. It's more like a relative. Is of opposite gender. Ace of Cups and Knight of Cups. It's a battle of emotional intelligence. I'm hearing a bit of sibling rivalry. I'm hearing also that like inheritance wants to be addressed, and like issues of the will and family issues, family legacies, family name, family politic. Someone wants to like break away from a family name. They no longer want to represent that name. Someone may find themselves having like a very euphoric moment for themselves at a pebbled beach, not a sandy beach, a pebbled one. Someone wants to plan an international road trip. Alright, we have the Six of Cups. Wow, okay. Saw that when I was coming to the eye of the storm here. Holy moly. A lot of like jealous, tacky energy. Lots of immaturity. Like immaturity hidden in a high gloating ego. Just help see it, but some more. Alright. So the Lovers. There's Alright, if you're planning on having some sort of coffee or tea meetup with someone, purchase your own tea. Like if you're going somewhere to a coffee shop, try not to have someone else purchase the coffee for you, whomever it is that you're meeting up with. Don't have them purchase the coffee for you or the tea, whatever beverage. Same goes if you are going to somebody's home and they're making you tea or offering you tea, at least be in the same room as they're pouring you tea. It's not that they're doing anything like crazy, it's just your eyes need to be somewhere, as in your third eye needs to be somewhere in close vicinity. Because a person's high vibrational self is very influential in the esoterical world. A bit of a succubus. Someone wants to do like a paint change, or maybe what someone should consider. Someone's not doing this. Yeah, they're not doing it, but they need to consider it, like repainting a room in the house. Even if it's white and you haven't painted it in a while, it needs like a refreshment. Alright, we have the Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, and the Three of Swords. So yeah, it's a high stress situation, okay, to a very independent journey, which, again, I mean, that is almost like life. Life is like the moment you were born, it's a high stress situation for mommy, for baby, for everyone and everything involved. It's a high stress situation, which is a beautiful little blessing, right? So it's like the contradiction is a beautiful disaster. And what's important is to, again, take the way beginning in the messages and understand that there's a webbing. And first of all, you're the nucleus, you're the center of this webbing. Stop focusing so much of the center of the centers of the centers and the center of the center while you are not centered. If you're an uncentered individual trying to find center, it is illogical. You'll never find center. Yet if you understand wisdom of own thyself center, then you may be understanding what it means to aim towards a direction and understand when there are derivatives of possibly getting closer to the center of something, because you've built that relationship with yourself. So ultimately, you're going through that process of the whole entire ego death, because the 10 swords, the 3 swords is 13, and that's the number of death, of ego death mostly, okay? And like ego death is definitely here because it's saying the 7 of Pentacles is trying to have a better understanding of him or herself. While there are other opportunistic things that this person is also being multitasked on all at the same time. When I said split and rooting, this is also where this is coming from, because the roots and all that, the split ends, you know, there. However, that may make you feel, ooh, ringing in the ear. However, that may make you feel, there is a blessing within what you might find as chaotic. Because again, there could be such thing as controlled chaos, and controlled chaos, I mean, that's beautiful. And then there's controlled chaos that we talked about it very briefly earlier, that could be a societal term, and that is psychotic. Those are the psychopaths. Pretty much. Okay. Alright. Keep going. The Emperor. Creating a wellness center for yourself, okay? Creating a wellness center that begins with knowing the space that you govern, the space that you reside in every single moment or return to, that you make it a terrain of endless possibilities and endless vibrations of tranquility, rather than it triggering discomforts. Someone may need to address some feng shui within their zone, their room, shift some objects within your room, because the air is not moving, is not breathing, the atmosphere is not flowing. Some of you need to crack the window open a bit more, okay? Like, I don't know why that's a thing in the United States. A lot of people keep your windows closed. Open that window, get some fresh air in. I mean, this is no insult to the wound, alright? If salt in the wound here. If you're somebody who's like, oh, she's not talking to me, I can open this up all the time. So close your window. Smoke that shit up, and then window open again, because there's something there. Something about the window. I'm gonna argue about everything. Notes. I'm just kidding. Oh gosh. Alright, someone may develop new allergies. Okay? New allergies. Someone may want to introduce capsaicin in their diet. Maybe that's also the allergy. Proceed with caution. Just be aware. And we have the 8 of Cups. Yeah, 8 of Cups. Yeah. You're becoming so much more intellectual, because the back of the card actually spoke to me more at this moment than the front did. Okay, and that's because the octopus picks up on high intellectual vibrations. So you may need to give yourself a bit more credit on how intellectual you are. It's more or less needing to learn how to apply that intellectualism towards the emotional self. And that's a journey. That's a journey that is life. That is a journey that keeps swinging within the ethereal versions of what it means to be a pendulum within the pendulum, and being a magnet and being a deterrent, being an agitator, being a triggerer, being loving. That is all what it means to be this infinite stardust with a talking piece of a mouse. Okay? All right. And that is all that I have for you at this time. Again, if you'd like any of my services, feel free to check out the description box below. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.